Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today in 10 minutes or less we are going to learn the French defense. It starts with e4, e6, want to play d4, want to play d5. In this position white can either play knight to f3 or pawn to d4. But the most common move is pawn to d4 and you will play d5. Now we will look into the advanced variation of the French defense. What if white pushes his pawn? You are simply going to challenge his center pawn, his d4 pawn, by playing c5, and he is going to simply defend it with c3. You will simply develop your knight to c6. He will simply develop his knight, means knight to f3. Then queen to b6, activate your queen, and in this position white can set up a trap. So you have to play carefully. What if white plays bishop to d3? And if you are a beginner and you are watching this, you are going to think that, oh, he's just losing a pawn. But no, you are going to lose this game. Because if you are greedy and take this poisoned pawn, he will simply recapture it with his pawn. You are going to capture it with your knight. He will simply and tension free going to capture your free knight. You are going to recapture it back with your queen, and then boom, he will play bishop to b5, and you are going to lose your queen. Now let's look into the exchange variation of the French defense. What if he takes your pawn? You will simply recapture it back. Now he is going to develop his knight. You will develop your knight attacking this pawn, not attacking, pressurizing the d4 square, you can say. Now he will develop his knight and attack your d5 pawn. You are going to simply develop your bishop. He will develop his bishop or can play any other move. And in this position, you want to play knight to here, means to uh, knight to f5. Knight to f5 means you have to go to knight to f5 because after that you are threatening or pressurizing. You are going to create pressure on the d4 square. So what do you think you will play? Knight to e7 or knight to h6? According to me, the best move is knight to h6. Here, now you will be thinking that what if he recaptures it with his bishop? We will simply recapture it back and we have got the OpenG file. Now we can take out our rook and look onto the d4 square. It's very simple and it's one of my favorite variation of the French defense. Now let's look into an uncommon variation of the French defense, known as the Marshall variation. What if he doesn't take our pawn or forward his pawn? And um, exchange of that, he can play knight to c3, defending the pawn, and you are going to simply play c5, the martial variation of the French defense. Now e takes d5, e takes d5, bishop to b5 check, and here you have to play carefully, uh, because if you block the check with your bishop, you are simply going to lose this pawn, d5 pawn. You have to block with your knight, knight to c6, then d takes c5. You are going to play knight to f6, because you have to develop your pieces first, rather means you have to develop your pieces first. It's better rather than taking the uh, bad pawn. It is bad because it is now doubled and it is not a passer, so it is a bad pawn for him. So you are going to take this pawn, later first develop your pieces, then bishop to e3, blocking, defending this pawn. Now you will play bishop to e7, developing your bishop and trying to castle. Knight g to e2, then you castles. And it's normal